A Gibson guitar and a box amplifier, performing Buddy Holly songs in clubs and dance halls in Southwest England. 5 years later, he joined what would become one of rock and roll's most innovative bands. As the lead singer of the Moody Blues, he has released 15 studio albums. As a solo artist, he has released 7 albums, including this year's Spirits of the Western Sky. Today, in our Sirius XM New York studios, he'll perform acoustic versions of Moody Blues classics, as well as material from his new CD. Sirius XM presents the Classic Vinyl Justin Hayward session. Here's your host, Earl Bailey.
Many people did a lot of things for the first time while listening to the Moody Blues. Long hours pondering lyrics, trying to find meaning, maybe a message in the music. But at the same time, Justin, you told us, don't necessarily ask me. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. So we'll go wherever you take us today, and I know you have a guitar with you.
Yeah, well, I've got me and my friend Trace Foster, and we've got a couple of guitars, so we were going to do a couple of things from my new album, which is called Spirits of the Western Sky, and we were going to do a couple of things from that.
In Your Blue Eyes, I know, is the first track on the album, and you have lyrics in there such as stars exploding in the sky and strings and an orchestra, and it reminds me of, the very, In Search of a Lost Chord,
I think the whole thing is quite Moody's sort of sounding. But today, Earl, you just got me and my friend here. So here we go. This is called In Your Blue Eyes.
Across the skies so clear, so frozen, and the sea so green, so gray, I turn to face a new tomorrow, but darkest fears still haunt today. Stars exploding in the sky, and then I see my face appearing in your blue eyes. Beside me, I only cry when you're away, and if you leave I will be broken. Like a fool my heart gives way. The stars exploding in the sky, and then I see my face appearing in your blue eyes. In your blue eyes. And now I'm riding to the sunrise. Now I kneel before your door. I only pray that you'll receive me and open wide your glorious halls. The stars exploding in the sky, and then I see my face appearing in your blue eyes. I touch your skin so soft, so tender, touch your mouth as you let go, and then I watch as you surrender. Take you down to heaven below. The stars exploding in the sky, and then I see my face appearing in your blue eyes. In your blue eyes. In your blue eyes. In your blue eyes.
Live at Sirius XM, Justin Hayward, In Your Blue Eyes, corresponding to, well, if it were on vinyl, it would be side one, track one
Yes,
of
that's
Spirits of the Western Sky, new release from Justin Hayward, apart from the Moody Blues, on classic vinyl at Sirius XM. I'm Earl Bailey, and Justin in the studio with us. Introduce again your accompanist.
Yes, this is Trace Foster, who looks after all my guitars and on the road with the Moody's and me personally. Yeah, so he doing those little licks.
That was a really full-sounding
Well, I'm on this
guitar there.
big
What
old,
kind is it?
I'm on this big old 12 string.
Is it a Gibson or a
No,
particular brand?
no. Oh, it's a Taylor 12 string. Yeah.
Is this like a custom-made thing?
No, it's something that it's a Leo Kottke. Is that Leo? You know him.
Leo Kottke.
Leo Kottke. He did a signature guitar for them, and
Wow.
so that's exactly what it is. And I just had it. I found it in a music shop, and I thought that's for me, that particular one. And I just have it at home. It's my home, sitting on my couch at home guitar.
Now, you procured your first guitar at age 9, history books say.
Yes, that's right.
What was that?
I've got
Do you
no
remember
idea.
that guitar?
I mean, no, it was kind of I saw the picture of the guitar, but it had no. It was a steel string guitar. It killed me with my little hands as a 9-year-old kid. But my parents got it for me. I pestered them. They got it for me from a hire purchase company. Then I put a pickup on it, moved on. I adapted every guitar I had until I got a Gibson when I was about 14. I was never happy with my guitars until I got a Gibson.
Wow, there's a slogan for you.
Yeah.
In the mid-60s, you hooked up with an English rocker by the name of Marty Wilde. We don't know him so well over here.
No, that's right. Father of, maybe you heard of Kim Wilde. And yes, I was very lucky. I left school when I was 16, and I worked in an office for a couple of months while turning professional. I was with a lot of different bands at school and doing well enough at school to buy myself that Gibson and a Vox amp. And then I answered an ad in the Melody Maker, and I knocked on the door in East London, and there was Marty Wilde. I couldn't believe it. And I'm 6'2", and he's 6'5". So I spent 2 years with Marty, looking up to somebody. But he was my mentor, and he got me into writing songs, and I learned so much from him, and we're still best of buddies.
Well, let's hear, if you will, share another result of that inspiration, that inception to your creative spirit with The Western Sky.
Okay.
Are you ready for that? It corresponds to track 3 on your new album, Spirits of the Western Sky.
Yeah.
And I think it involves some recurring themes in your compositions, Isn't it a strange world? And We Could Fly. We have several times listening to your music.
Thank you, Earl.
On classic vinyl, Justin Hayward live at Sirius XM.
Here we go. This is it's about my brother and I used to live at the back. We had a room at the back of the house when we were little kids, and we had this view of the West Country, of this vast sky and these amazing sunsets. And all our heroes, my brother and I, we were very close in age, and we used to say, all our heroes are in that western sky. And from Buddy to the Everleys and to Nat King Cole. So it always stuck with me. In every flat or apartment I've lived since, I have to have a view of that western sky.
Isn't it a strange world with you and me, gazing at each other through a misty scene of what might have been? Dreaming of the green hills where we could fly. We're listening to the night bird who made us cry with a lullaby. And we'll overcome and stand on the heights and we'll be together in our dreams. As we look around us, the world goes on. We're strangers in a strange land, trying to find where we don't belong. Just shadows in the darkness, passing through. But now that I've found you, I realize what I got to do. But we'll overcome and stand on the heights, and we'll be together in the end. Out on the horizon, the west wind sighs, a beautiful adventure waiting there in the western sky. Bring me some redemption, oh, take me home. Take me where my heart lies. Now I know that I'm not alone. Which we'll overcome and stand on the heights, and we'll be together in our dreams. In the end, in our dreams. In the end, oh yeah.
Justin Hayward, live at Sirius XM. The Western Sky. That's a song on Justin's new album, Spirits of the Western Sky. And during that, Justin, I was looking at the album cover.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a silhouette of you. High ridge overlooking a body of water. What body of water is that? Where are you standing?
It's on the shores of the Atlantic, looking towards the USA. You know, I said I look west all the time. Even when I love the Far East, and even when I go to the Far East, I go that way. I go through America or Canada and carry on.
The shores of the Atlantic in England, looking west. I get it.
Yes, it's the shores of the Atlantic, right in the west of England, right on the western point of England.
Classic Vinyl at Sirius XM. I'm Earl Bailey here with Justin Hayward, and he brought his guitar with us. He has some more songs to play, but And history records that you got into the Moody Blues, what was it, the summer of '66, by answering an advertisement, or as you might say, an advertisement that Eric Burden had placed for a guitarist.
Yeah, that's right. I saw this ad, that's how I got the job with Marty, through the Melody Maker, the same classified ads column. And I saw this ad that Eric was looking for a guitar player. And I thought, I wonder if he likes some of my songs, because I was really thought of myself as a songwriter then. And I thought that would be my future, and I was spending my life sitting in a publisher's office writing stuff, and I knew someone in Eric's office, so I sent my acetates and my songs and a little letter off to Eric. I never heard anything. And then about 3 weeks later, I had a call completely out of the blue from Mike Pinder, and said that Eric had sent him, my letter and my acetates, and he really liked it. And that this is the original keyboard player with the Moody Blues, and he said, I'd really like to meet. So I met with Mike Pinder, and then he said, we could do some nice things together. He was writing, and I was writing. He was the only one in the band who was writing music at the time, and I was. And then a couple of weeks later, I met the other guys. I met Ray and Graham, and then a week after that, I met John, and then we were in. I had an amplifier, so I had more than they did anyway. I think that helped me get the job.
Well, that's something for a group that wound up being pioneers of new musical instruments, the Moog synthesizer, etc. Mm-hmm. And I guess after about 6 months incubation, then Days of Future Past eventually came out.
Well,
with the orchestration, but you didn't play with the orchestra, as the story goes?
That's right. Oh, no. I mean, we were pre-rubbish rhythm and blues band, which is what we were doing when I first joined the band with Mike and that. And we just didn't do it very well. And a guy had left the band called Denny Lane, who had a great rhythm and blues, and he was like the guy who did that rhythm and blues. We were rubbish at it. But I was writing my songs, and we did a song of, we recorded some songs of mine. One was called Fly Me High, and we had some success with that. And then we just thought, this is just not working. Our price had really dropped. So we thought, let's throw away those old blue suits and let's do the stuff that's really in our heart. So we just decided to do all our own material. If it worked, then okay. If it didn't, then we'd go our separate ways. But we developed this stage show that was about the story in the life, day in the life of one guy. And we were lucky enough that Decca wanted to make a demonstration album to demonstrate stereo. And they asked us if we would do this. We were kind of house band for Decca. And so we said, sure. And it was Peace and Night. They wanted the rock group playing a rock version of Dvorak, and then an orchestra playing the real Dvorak after it. They were trying to sell their stereo systems, which nobody had in 1966. So we said, yeah, of course. And then Peter Knight came to see us at a little club in Oxford Street, and he said, we should do it the other way around. You do your songs, and I'll orchestrate between them. And that's how it came about. And it was one of those lucky accidents. So our stage show got recorded. It was called Days of Future Past, and this demonstration record got put up to a full price album within a few weeks when it started to take off, or Nights in particular started to take off. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I first heard it in beautiful high fidelity monophonic because my old man hadn't gotten the stereo yet.
No, I didn't have a stereo system until about 1969. I never listened to it, only in the studio, and I had no idea. But when we first came to America in 1968, with Days of Future Past and Lost Chord, all those guys in those radio stations we were like manna from heaven, a real stereo record. We didn't have a stereo like the Beatles with drums on the left and voices on the right. We had a real stereo picture, beautifully recorded, and when FM radio was just starting, it was perfect for that.
Early version of surround sound almost.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's Classic Vinyl here at Sirius XM, and Justin Hayward is here with a guitar. And I want to get another new song from you.
Yeah.
Maybe since we were talking about this, would you be prepared to play something like Nights in White Satin now?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Acoustic Nights.
Yeah, here we go.
Nights in White Satin.
Here we go.
Live at Sirius XM. Justin Hayward.
Satin, letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end, and I'll love you. Yes, I'll love you. I'll love you. I'll love you. Yeah, 'cause I'll love you. Yes, I'll love you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Justin Hayward live at Sirius XM on Classic Vinyl from Days of Future Past, an acoustic version of Nights in White Satin. Thanks, that means a lot to a lot of our listeners.
I'm very privileged to be able to sing that song, you know, around the world. And I wrote it as a kid when I was really just 19 years old. So it's wonderful that it's still here.
Well, it works every time. So.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Justin, you're going on tour this August.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm doing some solo things. Yeah.
Just yourself?
And it'll be just myself, and Trace will be with me, and I'll be with another guitar player, and just a real kind of quiet acoustics. I'm banning drummers for a couple of weeks. I found once they get those sticks, you know, and sit on that stool, it gets real loud. So I'm just going to do it in a sense, like a songwriter sense, and with a small group of people, some nice, lovely people. It'll be really good.
Quite frankly, in such a setting, you can understand the words better.
Oh, well, diction is everything.
Yeah, you'll be in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New York, Massachusetts, Virginia, and Georgia, and probably more to come. Justin Hayward this summer in August, and on Classic Vinyl on Sirius XM. I'm Earl Bailey. Justin has dropped by to just visit with us for a while and play some tunes. The new album is Spirits of the Western Sky, and on it, track number 8, as a matter of fact, you kind of get a little countrified, I feel. It was kind of a country western song almost.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I was welcomed a few years ago. I did a sort of showcase thing down in Nashville for a Songwriters Association, and I was with Stevie Winwood, and because he likes all that. Michael McDonald, he likes that too, and Jimmy Webb as well. And none of us were kind of country, but we're as songwriters. And then I sort of got to meet a lot of people in the bluegrass community there. Of course, they're guys who just play brilliantly and are just waiting for a songwriter to come along to do their stuff, to do their thing. So when I put this album together, I did 3 songs in Nashville with the little team of bluegrass boys. Should we play one? Oh, should we do one?
Sure, it's a moody bluegrass, right?
Yeah.
It's got a real country kind of title. It's Cold Outside of Your Heart.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
further I fall, the deeper my love seems to be. 'Cause I know that I never doubted at all that someone was waiting for me. That out of the blue it was over. Well, how did you think I would survive? 'Cause it's cold outside, yes, it's cold outside of your heart. Yes, it's cold outside, yes, it's cold outside of your heart. I never thought it could happen to me, but it's the one that gets you that you just don't see. And now I don't want to be free. I thought it was always to be that someone was waiting for me. The longer the shadows become in my life, the colder the breeze seems to be. 'Cause I know that I never doubted at all that you would be waiting for me. The flame of desire is still burning, the warmth of your body close to mine. 'Cause it's cold outside, yes, it's cold outside of your heart. Yes, it's cold outside, yes, it's cold outside of your heart. It's a big world to face all alone, so I'm begging you please to come back home. And now I don't want to be free. I thought it was always to be that you would be waiting for me. You know that it's you that I need. See, I refuse to believe that someone's not waiting for me.
Live at Sirius XM on Classic Vinyl. That's Justin Hayward playing in our studios. I'm Earl Bailey, and Justin has been kind enough to come by and talk about his new album and play some songs from it. It is titled Spirits of the Western Sky. It's another good example of working with the orchestra, and perhaps you could tell us something you've done over the years outside of the Moody Blues, you have worked with an orchestra. And tell us a little bit something about that. Is it a particular one, or one you assembled?
Well, there's, first of all, we mentioned Peter Knight, who was who played the classical, the orchestral stuff on Days of Future Past, and he became a very good friend. And he was the really the nicest romantic string arranger, the best string arranger in the UK. And then I used him on my, we did some stuff on my solo album. And then sadly Peter passed away. He was a lot older than the rest of us when we recorded Days of Future Past. But then I met a girl from The Art of Noise called Anne Dudley, And she and I did some work together, and on this Spirits album, she did 2 tracks with me as well. So that was wonderful. That was fantastic. And one of those is called The Eastern Sun, and the other one was called One Day Someday. And that was a great experience working with her again, because all the musicians always played for her. And then other times, you know, I was lucky enough in the 70s to be part of another thing by an American guy from New York, actually, called Jeff Wayne, who was putting together a concept album about the H.G. Wells story called The War of the Worlds, and set in the 1890s as H.G. Wells had it. And he sent me a song which was called Forever Autumn, and I didn't used to do anybody else's songs. He'd written this song with a couple of other guys. And when I first heard it, I said to my friend who was listening to it with me, and I said, you know, I don't know what to do because it's a lovely song, but I don't do other people's material. And he said, you should do that one. You should do that because that's a great song. So
He's absolutely correct.
yeah, so
Ingrained into my brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I went down to a little studio in Advision Studio off Oxford Street one night, and Jeff he prepared the whole place, got the sort of put the red scarf over the light, and got a nice seat, the incense burning, and a few other things burning, and it was just lovely. And recorded Forever Autumn, and then I got more involved with that album and did another thing called The Eve of the War from it, and then the last few years it came back as a stage show, and I've been doing that on stage, and that's been wonderful too.
Could you do it on our stage?
Yeah. Now I got to get a capo out here.
Okay.
So we're going
Well, let me thank you then, Justin Hayward, for coming by Sirius XM Classic Vinyl and Spirits of the Western Sky available now. And there's many tracks on it. Well, I was trying to count them up while I was talking, but 15. 15, very good. There's 15 tracks on it. So if you count all the notes up and whatever money you spend on it, it's cheap. You're playing
made in Europe. It was made in euros, and they're still not cheap. Yeah, even with everybody going bust.
Well, come by and visit us anytime. You have so many times, and we're very grateful for your presence.
Earl, it's my pleasure. Always lovely to be with you and to talk to you, and I do thank you very much, and you're very kind.
Appreciate it. Lovely to see you again, my friend. Justin Hayward live at Sirius XM and Forever Autumn.
The summer sun is fading as the year grows on, and darker days are drawing near. The winter winds will be much colder. Now you're not here. I watch the birds fly south across the autumn sky, and one by one they disappear. I wish that I was flying with them. Now you're not here. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on a breeze, you blew autumn's golden gown, we used to kick our way. You always loved this time of year. Those fallen leaves lie undisturbed now, 'cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here. 'Cause you're not here. Like the sung through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on a breeze, you blew away. A gentle rain falls softly on my weary eyes, as if to hide a lonely tear. My life will be forever autumn, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here.
You've been listening to Classic Vinyl's Justin Hayward session, recorded in our New York studios. Hear it again tomorrow at 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific, or anytime you want on the Sirius XM app at SiriusXM.com.